always on your side. This is First Coast News at 5.
We know that Brianna Williams was the last person to see Taylor, and we need for her to cooperate with us in this investigation.
Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams giving an update in just the past hour, saying the mother of missing 5-year-old Taylor Williams is no longer cooperating with police.
Now, Brianna Williams, according to the sheriff, was the last person to see this precious little girl, her daughter. And right now, he says that they do not have enough evidence to make an arrest in this case and that the mother is not a suspect or even a person of interest. Here is the very latest right now. Police are asking anyone, any of you who are watching, who may have seen Brianna and Taylor Williams together in the last 6 months to contact them. The Amber Alert remains in effect.
And this case now goes across state lines as authorities in Alabama are also investigating. Our team coverage continues tonight. We want to begin with reporter Shelby Danielson, who was at that news conference. Shelby, what can you tell us?
Well, one of the biggest takeaways from the sheriff is that the entire family, it seems, is cooperating with JSO except for Taylor's mother, Brianna, who was cooperating with police up until a certain point yesterday. And JSO says that point was when they addressed conflicting statements that she had made to them. And that's when she stopped cooperating. Now, something else the sheriff said today is that they do not believe that Taylor walked off on her own accord from the home. And they also said that those initial search areas on the south side and in the Brentwood area would be winding down. Of course, the investigation is far from over, though. And as you heard at the top of the newscast, we do know that Brianna was the last person to see her daughter alive. The big question now, though, is exactly when was she alive last? Because we asked if Taylor had been seen in the last 6 months at any point. The sheriff said they're wondering the same thing, and that's what they want people to come forward to help them figure out.
So we have heard that. We don't have a correct timetable yet. That's part of our ask to the community. Anybody that has seen the child or the child and the mother together, within the last 6 months here in Jacksonville, we'd encourage them to reach out. We need them to reach out and give us that information. Really, no matter how insignificant they think that interaction may have been, no matter where it was, we would encourage them to reach out and give us that last, that may be the last little piece of information we need.
And yes, they said that she is not technically a person of interest right now, but they said nothing is off the table. We're going to hear more about their suspicions coming up all new at 6 tonight. Live at JSO, Shelby Danielson, First Coast News, on your side.
So many questions tonight, and we have our crews spread out across Jacksonville. They're also in the Brentwood neighborhood where Taylor was reported missing, and at the scenes where the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is investigating this evening.
Let's begin with On Your Side's Ken Amaro, who has spoken to many neighbors in the area. Ken.
That's correct, Anthony, and there's a common theme among the neighbors I spoke with, and that is, when was the last time anyone really saw 5-year-old Taylor Williams? In fact, she moved into this house, or the mom did, on Sunday, and residents told me that they did not see the child then, and they haven't seen the child at any given time. This has become a focal point for many in the community who've been out here all day trying to help in the search. They would like to see the child found safe and sound, but their optimism is also dimming. Spoke with Moses Young. He lives a few footsteps on the Williams front door. He's a dad. He's concerned about the welfare of the 5-year-old. But what he told me was very surprising. Listen to what he had to say. You've been here 7 months. You saw when the family moved in. Anything unusual?
Just the fact it was just a mattress that they moved into the house. I've never seen the little girl at all.
You've never seen the girl since you've been here?
I've never seen the little girl. Never. It's just weird.
And you live right across the street?
Right across the street.
So you've never seen her playing in the yard? You've never seen mom with her or anything of that nature?
I've never seen the little girl since she moved in.
And how long ago was that?
I think she moved in, Sunday?
And so this has become a critical point in the investigation. Investigators were in the house several times today. In fact, the last time the evidence tech went in, he removed a brown bag and then he sealed the doors as to indicate they may or may not be back. As you can see behind me, a couple of patrol cars are still here. But as far as the investigators' vehicles, they have left the scene. But the question tonight is, who last seen Brianna, not Brianna, but 5-year-old Taylor Williams, and if they have any information as to when she was last seen, if they can contact police. Now, Troy Kless has been out here reporting from yesterday. He's here today now with a little bit more information about what's taking place here on Ivy Street. Let's go over to Troy Kless.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Like you mentioned, we have seen crime scene technicians and JSO detectives surrounding the home throughout the day. And we do have a few more details about the move-in time that we got from a mover that says that she helped Brianna Williams move into this home, as you see behind me. So as you see, it is still currently blocked off and detectives haven't been in there for a few hours now. But again, going back to the move this weekend, this woman tells us that Brianna Williams posted a Craigslist ad for movers. Brianna paid her $300 to help move on Sunday. While the mover was inside the home, Brianna told her that her daughter Taylor was in the bathroom. The mover says that they heard water running, but she never saw 5-year-old Taylor. The mover says that Brianna's behavior was strange. They did move in some of the child's items, but again, they say they never saw her. And since Taylor has been reported missing, community leaders like Pastor Rob LeCount say they are worried but are still praying that Taylor is safe.
As men of God and women of God, that prayer could go where we can't go. And that's what we believe. We believe in the power of prayer. And so that's what we're standing on, because we have hope. And we're going to continue to have our hope that God will allow us to locate Taylor.
We are not sure exactly what the crime scene technicians were looking for or what they found, again, going in and out of the home several times. But the mover did mention that her south side apartment, Brianna's apartment, was dirty and out of place, and that's where we find On Your Side's Alex Ositis with more on this part of the story.
Troy, good evening. This is that Southside apartment complex called Southside Villas. And now this is where the focus of JSO has been now for more than 30 hours. So I'll step aside. It's just behind where you can see this red car coming out that JSO has a mobile command unit. It's been up there now the entire day, as well as dozens of officers. They've been searching part of the wooded area, and we also want to tell you about a couple of women that we met out here today. And you'll see in some video in just a second that a grandmother walking through the woods carrying a stick, calling out Taylor Williams' name as if it were her own child. She says that she has a granddaughter herself, and that when she heard about this missing girl, she felt called to come to this area. Now, JSO says that they are continuing to use this as their secondary scene. JFRD had been out, and that is why we do see that mobile command unit as well. But as Shelby Danielson pointed out earlier on, eventually things will be drawn back. But let's go ahead and hear from that grandmother we met today.
On the other side of town, we linked up, and she's been doing this for a while, so I followed her from one side of town to the other. I felt her spirit, so I just followed her.
And still a lot of unanswered questions out here on the south side. We're staying on top of this, and as we learn more and see more action, of course, we'll pass that along to you. Reporting live, Alex Ositis, First Coast News, On Your Side.
Alex, thank you very much. And when we're not on air, please continue to follow this story on firstcoastnews.com as well as our First Coast News app. We will continue to update this story as it develops. Well, dramatic courtroom appearance by the woman accused of murdering Yulee hairstylist and mother of 3, Jolene Cummings. Kimberly Kessler was back in court today for the first time since she was deemed competent to stand trial last month.
But what was supposed to be a hearing on her mental state took a very different turn. On Your Side's Ann Schindler was in the courtroom and brings us this report tonight.
Kimberly Kessler has been an unpredictable court presence, but always a silent one. She spoke for the first time Thursday and stunned observers.
I'm here on Kimberly Kessler,
announcing she wanted to fire her public defender. In fact, the first thing she uttered was an insult to her attorney, Terry Sopp.
Judge, Ms. Kessler has indicated that she does not wish for this office, or at least me, to continue to represent her. She's just advised me at the podium that I am a piece of garbage.
Judge James Daniel asked Kessler why she wanted to fire her attorney, but she refused to answer directly and instead referred him to her psychiatric evaluation from Florida State Hospital. Kessler's attorney also said she wanted to be replaced, saying their attorney-client relationship was broken because she believes Kessler is incompetent, which is something Kessler disputes. But the judge refused both of their requests, saying Kessler's attorney is doing a good job.
This court is not required to appoint a new attorney.
The attorney said she would file a formal motion to withdraw.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
And the judge set a hearing for that matter on November 26. Ann Schindler, First Coast News, on your side.
A Lake City man faces animal cruelty charges after he allegedly stabbed his aunt's dog multiple times, killing it. 20-year-old Roman Bell admitted to killing the dog when police confronted him. He's been charged with animal cruelty and is in the Columbia County Jail. Well, Veterans Day is coming up next weekend as a small token of appreciation that day when Dixie and Harvey's supermarkets are offering veterans, military personnel, and their families 11% off of their purchases. This offer is valid for in-store purchases only, and it can only be used on groceries and products inside the grocery store. Just show your military ID to receive the discount. I believe Publix is also offering that as well.
Yeah, and to show appreciation to our veterans, the Jacksonville Transportation Authority will be offering complimentary rides on Veterans Day. So you will need to provide your proper identification when you board to get the complimentary ride on all JTA bus routes, as well as the First Coast Flyer and the St. Johns River Ferry. A powerful event will take place this weekend for our veterans here on the First Coast. The Wounded Warrior Project's Carry Forward 5K will take place on Saturday in Jacksonville. Participants can either carry a flag, a weight of up to 100 pounds, or even, as you saw right there, another person. It's November 9th at 8:30 a.m. It's taking place at the Wounded Warrior Project headquarters on Belford Road.
Support Canines for Warriors. Watch the Veterans Day Telethon.
And this Monday on Veterans Day, please join us for our Canines for Warriors telethon. We all know the suicide rate among our veterans is too high, more than 20 a day in the United States. But Canines for Warriors has a 99% success rate in preventing those suicides. That's because custom-trained service dogs give the veterans a way to manage PTSD. The program saves rescue dogs as well. So this Monday, we are on your side with our Canines for Warriors telethon. So let's rally together for our veterans.
Michael is an American hero who loved his nation more than he loved popularity. He was willing to give everything, including his very life, to protect and defend the American way of life.
Today, hundreds came out to honor a hero. Michael Alivato had no family to speak of when he died. The Vietnam Army veteran enlisted when he was just 17 years old. And after hearing about his story, the First Coast community came out in droves to honor him. Hager Dutton is also a Vietnam veteran. He rode with Legacy's Vets Motorcycle Club. He says it is so important to show our support.
Our military is our bond. We still serve even though our enlistments are up. We defend this country with everything we have. And when a fallen brother, especially when one doesn't have any family, we are his family, and we will come out and support him and give him honor.
And we want to thank all who are and have served for your service.
That's right, and thank you to all of you who came to his funeral service today. The Florida Department of Transportation will begin construction in 2022 on a new bridge over the St. Johns River. The new bridge will replace the two-lane Shands Bridge, which connects Green Cove Springs to the southern end of Fruit Cove. The new bridge will feature 4 travel lanes and a pedestrian biking lane. The bridge is expected to take about 5 years to complete. It costs about $324 million.
We have a traffic alert for you tonight. I-95 southbound has been closed every night this week near the airport. Now FDOT says that closure will continue from Sunday through next Thursday as well. Crews are working to install a new set of beams in that area. So you'll have to detour onto 295 East to get around the detour, which will be in effect from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. And remember, Katie Jeffries will keep you updated on traffic on Good Morning Jacksonville, Monday through Friday, starting at 4:30.
And you can now check traffic times before you head out the door. Just go to our website, firstcoastnews.com/traffic, or the First Coast News app. Just scroll down the page to traffic times, and these will update every 15 minutes.
Well, Florida Utility Company has announced that it is lowering electric bills in 2020.
That's the news you want to hear. We have the details on how much Florida Power and Light will lower your bills when First Coast News at 5 continues.
I suspect your AC was working today as we were one of the warmest locations in the nation, but you won't need it over the next couple of days as there is a strong cold front on the way with the showers into the Panhandle. We'll take a look at when they will arrive in just a few moments.
Breaking news update now. Police are searching for 5-year-old Taylor Williams. Here is what we know at this hour. Her mother, according to the sheriff, is no longer cooperating with police. They say they do not have enough evidence in the case to make any arrests, and she is not considered a suspect, but they are asking her to please cooperate with them. And they are also asking any of you who may have seen Brianna and Taylor Williams together in the past 6 months to call police. This case is going across state lines as authorities in Alabama are also investigating. So stay with First Coast News. We will have continuing coverage throughout our newscasts.
A health alert for you tonight. Scientists say they found the first new strain of HIV in almost 20 years, but doctors say it's no reason for panic. The strain has only affected 2 or 3 people. Doctors don't know how this strain would affect people with the disease any differently than other strains, but they say the new strain is responding to existing treatments. Cases of hepatitis A are rising at a rapid rate across Florida. There are now nearly 3,000 cases of the disease across the state after more than 50 new cases were reported last week. The virus can be spread through food or drinks that have been contaminated with fecal matter from people with hepatitis A and can lead to liver disease.
AT&T has reached a settlement following a lawsuit that alleged it misled millions of customers by charging them for unlimited data plans while reducing their data speeds. The company will now pay $60 million to current and former customers who signed up for the unlimited data plan before 2011. Customers will automatically receive a bill credit or a check with the refund. And some good news for customers of FP&L. The electricity bills will be decreasing for FP&L customers by about $4 per month in 2020. Officials credit cleaner energy and new technology for that reduction.
And we are always on your side with money-saving tips. We also want to help you solve any problems you may be having. If you haven't had a chance to meet up with Ken Amaro, here's your chance. He'll be at 5 Star Veterans Center. That's over on Acme Street Monday morning from 8 until 11. If you can't meet Ken Monday, remember, if you have a problem, you need help, we're here on your side. Just email onyourside@firstcoastnews.com.
A SpaceX launch is planned for next Monday from Cape Canaveral. It features a Falcon 9 Starlink rocket. The goal of the Starlink is to create a network that will help provide internet services to those who are not yet connected and to provide reliable and affordable internet all across the world. That launch is scheduled for 9:51 a.m. Monday morning.
Now, weather with your First Coast News storm experts, powered by AC Designs.
All right, speaking of space, those satellites up there, 22,500 miles, giving us an excellent picture of what we call the Atlantic Basin, which includes the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico, and things are nice and quiet. Sure, there's large areas of showers and thunderstorms, both over the intertropical convergence zone and over the central portion of the Atlantic, but just too much shear for anything to form. No signs of any development over the next 5 days. Climatologically speaking, without seeing anything happening, this is the area we'll focus on. That is the Northwest Caribbean, but even over the next 10 days, nice and quiet. Relatively quiet now. Let's take a look. We'll go to the beach where it certainly was a tropical feeling day. First of all, in the ocean, temperatures feeling and actually we're at 74 degrees. Can we go to the beach? Hopefully we can go to the beach. There's the beach. Few cirrus clouds out there. Sun about ready to set. Surf was fun. And for those of you who haven't had time to maybe reach the ocean, the estuaries and the river, pretty warm for this time of the year as well at 75 degrees. And so are the air temperatures. So when will the cold air arrive? Well, what's actually happening out to the west of us is we have 2 cold fronts that are organizing into one front. So that's why it seems a bit disorganized. This is actually the front approaching the quarter right now, the French Quarter that is. Showers coming out of the Gulf of Mexico into Mobile and Pensacola precede the front. These showers will race to the northeast. So I don't think these are the showers that are going to make it here. I think these showers along with the front, and there's a couple thunderstorms, will make it here to the First Coast before sunrise for those. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to show you a picture that I think probably paints the picture better. First of all, those showers will not impact us this evening. Whatever your plans are, especially if you're going to go to the fair, how about it? 9 p.m. still 74 degrees. Overnight lows 70. That's a little deceiving as well, and we'll talk about that. Bottom line is, for you warm weather lovers, this will be the last warm night, at least until about Monday night. And of course, the sun just about ready to set. Okay, so what about the timing of the showers? Overnight tonight, I'm just going to show you clouds and some dampness. But you know what? There'll even be breaks in the clouds. So you'll see that waxing moon. That is the moon. We're headed toward Tuesday. Astronomers call it the full beaver moon. But back to tonight. So after midnight, the line of showers and thunderstorms will be from about Tallahassee to west of Valdosta and Waycross. So for those of you that we call the First Coast, but way up here, northwest of the Okefenokee, you'll probably have some downpours, might have some thunderstorms as early as 5 in the morning, which means this activity, that means downpours working into the Jacksonville metropolitan area, probably right about rush hour. So think about that. All right, this is where the temperatures get confusing. 7 a.m. 70. Our warmest temperature tomorrow will probably be before sunrise, and then temperatures will drop all day. 3 p.m. at 64 degrees, and the wind chill factor will be even lower. Strong winds over those warm waters means that more than likely there will be gale force gusts offshore. Wind chill will be a factor through Saturday. Sunday looks great. Then for the telethon on Monday, back to 80.
All right, thank you, Tim. A local beach town has been named one of the top beaches in the South.
We're going to tell you which beach came in at number 8 and the beach that topped the list. We'll be right back. A breaking news update right now. Police still searching for missing 5-year-old Taylor Williams. Here's what we know at this hour. We now know the mother of Taylor Williams is no longer cooperating with police. However, police say they do not have enough evidence to arrest her in this case. Police are also asking anyone that has seen Brianna and Taylor together in the last 6 months, Brianna is the mother, to contact police. And this case now goes across state lines as authorities in Alabama are also investigating. So stay with us here at First Coast News for the very latest. Well, Southern Living has released its top 10 beach towns in the southern USA, and one local beach made the list. St. Simon's Island landed at number 8 for its great food and beachfront hotels. If you're looking to travel to the number 1 location, you will have to drive to Hilton Head Island, of course, that's South Carolina, to find the number 1 beach town in the South. But we have this feel-good story for you tonight. A historic bucket during an NCAA basketball game last night. Kent State's Callum Bennett became the first player with autism to score in a Division I basketball game. So we want to say congratulations. Let's see it. Let's see that score. There he goes right there. Wow. Congratulations to him.
Absolutely. Well, tonight the search is on for 5-year-old Taylor Williams.
Are any new clues turning up in this investigation? What exactly is happening right now? Where is Taylor? A lot of questions. We'll have details on First Coast News at 5:30.